Hi everyone, it's Luke here, and in this video we're looking at installing Oracle VirtualBox on a Windows machine and just getting up and running with creating a virtual machine for the first time. So I'm on virtualbox.org here on the downloads page, and we've got download for Windows hosts. You can also download it for Mac OS and Linux, but we're just looking at Windows in this video. So open the file once it downloads. This is free open source software, so we don't need to worry about purchasing anything or using a license. It's totally free, which is awesome. But it is a layer 2, a type 2 hypervisor. So here we can just leave it as default settings, but I am just going to change my location because I don't have much space at all on my C drive. Okay, I'm going to click on next, and then yes to proceed, and yes again, install. And then click on finish and the program will open. And it should look like this. To create a virtual machine, click on the new button and then give it a descriptive name. This is going to be a Windows 11 machine, which I'll use for testing. I'm going to store it on my F drive just because I've got more space on that hard drive. And then the ISO image is where we install Windows from. And you can download these from Microsoft as well. You can get evaluation versions of Windows that you can use. It's important to tick skip unattended installation, so enable that one. Otherwise you'll get an error message appear when you go to install it. Click on next. Now we need to allocate memory and CPU to our virtual machine. This is going to depend on how much memory and CPU you have on your physical host machine. I'm choosing 8 GB for the memory, and I'll go halfway for the processors there, and that should be a good sweet spot, not too little, not too much, because we want to be careful that we don't starve our virtual machine of resources, but also that we don't starve our host machine of resources too. So somewhere in the middle is good. Now we create a virtual hard disk. 80 GB is fine to start off with, but we can always expand that later on if we need more space. Just review your settings here and then click on finish. Okay, and then we should be able to start the machine by clicking on the start button. Get ready to press a key on the keyboard to boot to the ISO. And then select your language here, or your time and currency format, which will be Australia for me. Next, install. And we're just going through the Windows installation process just as you would for a physical machine. Custom, and click on next to format the virtual hard drive, and it will start copying the Windows files to the hard drive. VirtualBox will set up a NAT network adapter for your virtual machine to get internet. So it gets internet by sharing the physical network connection of your host machine. Now let's also have a look at the settings by going into Machine and then Settings. And here is where we can change things like the amount of memory or the amount of processors assigned to our virtual machine if we need to. But you'll notice all of this is grayed out because we can't change anything while the machine's still running. So we would have to shut down the machine first to be able to change the settings. To shut down the machine, you can just shut it down as you normally would by going into the Start menu and then the Power Shutdown. Or you could turn off the machine directly from VirtualBox. Here we've got some options. Now I just want to show you how to install guest editions. Guest editions provide some extra functionality for the virtual machine. The big one is the ability to copy and paste between the host machine and the virtual machine, and you can drag and drop files. And it also gives you better graphics support, so you can change the resolution of the screen and you can make your virtual machine full screen. So all of that is enabled by installing the guest editions. So here under Devices, insert Guest Editions CD image. That'll insert the ISO into the virtual machine. So then if I go over here into Explorer, this PC, and we'll see the ISO CD image here. Double click on that one, and then double click on VBox Windows Editions. Leave all the settings as the default. And then reboot the machine. I've just got the virtual machine powered off now, and I just want to show you, if you were to back this up and move it to another computer, for example, you could simply do that by right clicking on the virtual machine here on the left, go to Show in Explorer, and then this is all the files related to the virtual machine. You just want to copy all of this. We could go back a step and copy the folder itself, and you can copy that to an external hard drive. And then once you've got it on another machine, you just double click on the blue icon here, and that will allow you to open it in Oracle VirtualBox. Right, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video where we look at the more advanced features of Oracle VirtualBox.